Wow, the cold is crazy, man. Guys, today's video, we're going to talk about if life here in the UK is better than any African country.
Over 1.2 million people migrated to the UK in 2023. A research by the House of Commons Library stated that the number of people migrating to the UK has been greater than the number immigrating in each year since 1994. So that means life must be really good here in England.
Foreign students going to the UK have been dealt a blow. Most are no longer allowed to bring over dependents. If a foreign student is married, they cannot get a visa for their spouse. If they have a child, it will have to be left behind while they study. And the British government sees this as a victory. It's part of their plan to reduce migration.
So, I visited the UK and spent 30 days here in England, knocking on doors of Africans that moved here and currently do work and live here permanently in the United Kingdom.
Hello, my name is Morel. I'm an African British here living here in the United Kingdom.
Asking them real life questions like, is it really worth it moving to the UK? How affordable or expensive is life here compared to your home country? And if given the chance to move back home, would they consider?
I'm not gonna lie, I feel like that would be very tough. But yeah, it's hard to say.
It's harder to then move back.
At the end of this video, you'll realize life here in the UK is not exactly what you think it is. I would appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel and give this like so more people can see this awesome story.
I want you guys to take a second and admire my London apartment. Just a very small room. So this is my work desk right here. This is like a queen size bed right here. And if you look here, this is my box. It can't really open, so I have to take out what I need and close it and put on there. And this is my bathroom. As you can see, very small, standing shower on there. So this was £65 a night get you here in London. If I was going to stay here for a month, I was going to pay 8,500. It's considered expensive. Well, a lot of people would say because of the area that I chose to. Canary Wharf is a very nice area with a lot of tall buildings. You have like, you know, a canal on there. It's a very expensive place. A lot of people don't stay here. I was very particular of like staying somewhere that's close to the train station because I'm going to be using public transportation. Because if you were to use Uber here, you are considered to be rich because average price for any trip here will start like at £25. 6 minutes walk, I'm at the train station, and boom, I am anywhere in London. And that's the great thing here in the UK, like the public transportation, the trains, they work.
The first person I'll be meeting is Morel. We first met in Ivory Coast, but he lives and works here in London. He is British Ivorian, and I'm curious to know what it's like for him living and working here in the UK.
All right.
Welcome to my humbly abode. Welcome to London.
Hey bro, nice to meet you.
Nice to
Once
meet
again,
you. How are you?
all the way from Ivory Coast.
From Ivory Coast, yes.
Yeah, right here. We're here in the UK again, man.
Yes.
To a lot of people, the UK is what they like to call the greener pasture. This is where everybody wants to be back home. And you have been here for I don't know how many years.
Whole life.
Almost all your life.
28 years almost.
But you have the African blood running in you, man.
That's it, yeah.
What do you do right now in the UK, like for work?
I mainly focus in real estate. So I do lettings and sale,
Okay.
but I focus more on the sales side. So,
Is this what you've always been doing in the UK?
no. So my first job was a waiter. I made good money and I found it easy. I just stayed in hospitality because I found it, I could eat for free. I made very, very good cash tips because I'm quite good with people.
Yeah.
I made good money on my salary.
Yeah. I know you're originally from Ivory Coast. What's the story like moving to the UK?
So they put me on a direct flight straight from Abidjan to London. The main reason why I'm in London is because opportunity. In terms of earning, being here opens a lot of opportunities. So you can work in different fields.
Yeah.
You meet people from all over the world who actually are wealthy and can change your life.
So you think if you're in Africa, you're not going to meet such people?
Well, number one, if you're in Africa and such person exists, he's going to have about 20 bodyguards. That's number one. Number two, the houses that he live or where the communities they live will be gated, so you can't enter.
So here you can go into like the top street.
I can go to Selfridges
Yeah.
and see David Beckham. He may come and just do some shopping. He may have 1 or 2 person for security.
Yeah.
Do you get
That's
it?
it.
I can just go to the store. I see Ed Sheeran. You meet influential people if you're in those areas.
What would you say regarding to how like the affordability here in London. There are a lot of videos out there about it being like very expensive, but I feel sometimes those videos are created just, you know, to just trigger people to click. But I want to hear from somebody who lives here, who grew up here.
In Atlanta, my rent was about 1,400, and that was for a 3-bedroom house. A 3-bedroom house. Yeah. In the UK, a 3-bedroom house, if you go to a decent area, that's like Central East, Central West, Central North, or Central South.
But not Central itself.
No. Central, you're looking at 6,000 per month.
So what kind of people can afford such rent?
What? You gotta have a good, maybe you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you're a politician, you're a CEO, or you've had a good income, steady job. Because in Central London, they don't do monthly rent. The rent is per week.
Per week?
Yeah.
So is that why a lot of people stay far away from the central, like this?
They can't afford.
Yeah.
So the way the UK works is there's something called qualifying. So to qualify to rent is not that you have the money. You gotta meet the standards.
And what are the standards?
So the first standard to qualify for rent is you need to make 3 times the amount of that rent.
In a month?
Yeah. So if the rent is 6,000, you need to make 9,000 a month to be able to rent that property. But you can have money and still not be able to rent, because it's not having money, it's whether you can qualify.
How much is your rent here?
Oh, here you're talking about 1,006.
1,006?
But you, look, I don't know if they can see your viewers. Viewers, can you view? This is the living room.
1,006?
In Ivory Coast,
Yeah.
this room here
Yeah.
is probably storage.
Storage for someone's house.
Or like a spare room nobody use. You can use that for maybe to edit your videos or something.
Yeah.
But this is my main living room. This is everything.
This is probably the size of my studio actually at home.
Yeah. Your studio is my main living room. And I'm paying 20 times more than what you're probably paying.
You're in the UK, you get more benefits than I do.
What
you
benefit?
You have more opportunities than I do. You have a stronger passport, I don't.
Okay.
You are in quotes first world country. I'm not.
Out of everything you said, the passport one is correct. The passport does give me...
At least you accepted that one.
The passport actually does give me privilege to travel without visa.
Yeah.
But the crime, we've gone to a point where anybody in London will tell you, anywhere in the UK will tell you, that crime is so bad they don't report crimes. You won't see crime on the news unless it's major.
Really?
Just 3 days ago, Leicester Square.
Yeah.
The biggest tourist attraction in the whole of London. 11-year-old girl and a mum, 34, were stabbed. This is just 3 days ago.
Stabbed for what?
Nobody knows. That's the other thing. We don't get given details. We know somebody was stabbed. We don't know. The identities haven't come out. I went Ivory Coast with my missus, and she looked at me and she asked me, I've never seen anyone get robbed in Ivory Coast. I said, because here, if you're a thief, the punishment is so harsh that you yourself will stop stealing. Because thieves don't even survive. I don't know what they do with them, but they just take them and they just go with them. We walked with our phone in our hands. I record content, everything. I've had no problem. I can't just take my phone and go to Oxford Street or Piccadilly or go to Canary Wharf and just start filming like that. Somebody on the bike will come and take my phone. These are just things that happen daily.
Well, speaking of phones, mobile phone theft by people on bikes and mopeds has become something of a common occurrence in London. And City of London police are warning people to be extra careful when using their phones on the street.
But when I go to other places, if I go to Belgium, for example, I film the whole thing.
Your phone?
No one even comes close to me.
So what are your likes and dislikes about like the UK, like living in the UK?
The weather's terrible.
If it's not summer, yeah?
No, not if it's not summer. We don't really get a summer. I'm talking about, there's 12 months in a year.
Yeah.
Summer for us is probably end of June
July
to end of August.
Yeah.
And in end of June to end of August, if you get 2 weeks of summer, you'll be very happy. It's cold, and when it's not cold, it's raining. And then when it's a terrible day for you, it's cold and it's raining.
It's raining, yeah.
And then when it's an awful day for you, it's cold, it's raining, and it's windy. There was 1 year that summer was good. It was 2020, we were on lockdown. We had about 4 weeks of pure heat. It was sunny all day, but we were on lockdown, we couldn't go out.
Oh,
That was the 1 year I was like, oh, we're having real summer. Second, tax. Tax is a big topic, but to make it very simple for you to understand, the UK is based on tax.
Like,
in other words, I go to a shop, I pay VAT, so I'm paying extra. I'm paying tax on top of tax.
but would you say the tax money is being used?
It's not anything I'm concerned about. Because the government takes the money, they decide what is good and what is not. It would have been better if you get a fixed amount rather than a percentage. That way you can at least create wealth. With a percentage, you'll never create wealth because as you get richer, you get taxed more. If you're getting paid £2,000 a month,
Yeah.
you're gonna get 20% tax. That's looking like probably anywhere from £300 to £450.
Pounds, yeah.
That's gonna take that out of your money. That's called tax. Then we have NI. NI is your national insurance number.
Yeah.
That they're gonna take a percentage. That could be maybe £100. The third one is called pension. So if you work for a company, by law, you have to pay pension.
Yeah.
So your pension could end up taking another extra 30 or an extra £40. So in reality, if you're earning 2,000 a month, you end up paying around 600 to 650 pounds just in tax. So you're gonna go home with maybe 1,300, 1,400.
That's if you don't have any car.
That's if you don't have no car. This is just purely what the employer takes.
So if the employer takes that's you said 600. Then
Around 600, yeah.
Let's factor in your rent now.
Your rent more than likely will be over 1,000, 1,200.
Okay, let's say your rent is 1,000, so that's 1,600.
Yes.
So that is 400 left.
You're left with 400.
Transportation, food,
Transportation alone, you're looking at £100
at least.
a month,
Yeah.
minimum.
Yeah.
Food, I don't know how you eat, but you're looking at around £200 a month. That's if you're a cheap person and you don't really go
The
out.
money's gone then.
No, the money's not gone. You've not finished yet. There's your phone bill.
So then you're running to the minus.
Yes.
So then how are you gonna?
So then now you're gonna need to apply for Capital One credit card. You need to get Amex Gold credit card, and you now take the credit card and put things like utilities on your credit card. And then every month, whatever you cannot afford, you put that one on your credit card. And then slowly you start paying off the credit card. But eventually you need a holiday. But your salary is not enough because it's the same amount every month.
Yeah.
So you don't have enough for holiday. So now you put your holiday on your credit card. When you go on holiday, you don't have money. You put your expenses on your credit card. So by the time you come back, your credit card are finished. Your income is not enough. So essentially, you're working
For the government.
Yeah.
For free.
pretty much. You're working for, I was going to say Her Majesty, but we now have a king. So
Yeah.
you're working for the king. If I go to Africa and I start making good money, I will get taxed in the UK. That's how the tax law works. As an American and a UK citizen, when you go somewhere else to work, you still get taxed.
Tax there.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, it's because they raise you and they give you the passport. That's why you're able to get that job. So that's kind of what they get back. So unless you're able to sit down with them and kind of agree to something, or maybe start a new business in the country where you're in. For example, if you're in the UK, you go to Dubai, then you say, okay, I'm gonna open a business in Dubai. Then you can be exempt from the tax. But otherwise, it's the British passport that got to where you are. It's the American passport that got you to where you are.
So that is why
therefore-
most people just denounce the
denounce the citizenship.
citizenship. Yeah. Would you ever consider like moving out of the UK to any African country?
100%. If anything, I've already considered and I've already decided.
You've already decided you will.
yeah.
Real?
100%.
What would you say to people thinking of moving here from Africa, any country in Africa?
My advice will be first, try and speak to people who have lived here. Ask them what jobs have they done specifically. Ask them how much they've actually made. And then ask them how much they've kept. Once you get that answer, you'll realize that maybe the grass is not greener on the other side. You can come here. You just need to have a plan. If you're gonna come here and think, just because I land, I'm gonna pick gold from the streets and I'm gonna be picking pound coins, that one is not a reality. You may have to work hard for years. I mean, most Africans I know, which is not much, but most Africans I know are dishwashers. They wash dishes,
Do
they
care
clean
jobs.
toilets, they take care of old people in care fosters home, they do security jobs, they do the jobs that you may not like. And after all of that, they don't get paid much money and they get taxed a lot of money. So yes, there's opportunities. Yes, it's developed. Yes, the infrastructure is much better. Yes, you can meet people that can change your life. All of those things are correct. But have you considered the price? Are you willing to work those jobs? And are you willing to work 60 hours a week and yet have no money at the end of the month? Those are the questions you have to consider, because if you're happy with that, bro, please, sister, come right now. You'll definitely be working 70 hours a week and you'll definitely not keep that money. So if that's what you want, feel free to come. By the way, if you also like the rain, and the wind
And the cold.
and the cold.
Yeah.
I don't know, you wanna wear your puffer jacket, mine's not hot.
Yeah.
No problem, feel free.
Not.
But where you are right now, there's so many opportunities and there's so many things that you could do. But unless you get rid of that mindset, you wouldn't even begin to think that there's possibilities.
Yeah.
As one of the most exciting and iconic cities in the world, London has many attractions. So before I go knock on more doors of African people here, let's explore the city of London a bit. A 30-minute ride on the London's Eye glass pod is the most popular thing people do here.
So right there is the London Eye.
It was once the largest observation wheel in the world, known to many as the Millennium Wheel. It goes up to 130 meters, giving you bird's eye view of close landmarks like the Big Ben and the Strand.
Cost about £42 per person. So for me and my friends, it would be like 84. So we decided not to do it. I got better use for that money. I'm going to use to go and have a very nice lunch. What else can people do when they get here?
They can do the tour bus, so there's a combination of things. With the tour bus, you get on a bus that takes you around London. You come off, check all the attraction points, come back on the London Eye. Again, you get the best view of London. The aquarium, they want to keep everyone happy. Then you've also got the boat, so you can get on the boat. The boat goes from here, it's going to go to Tower Bridge.
I could not help but wonder why the famous River Thames is dirty. I thought everything in Europe is clean and world class.
I said, even though the water's brown, no one's complaining. Had they been another place, they would have said, oh, it's dirty, oh, it's this. But once it's London, it just becomes organic, amazing, fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at it. Come. This thing is brown. It's like a baguette. like you're gonna have brown bread. Yet people are enjoying. They're touring on the boat. Everything is great. Had this been in anywhere else?
If it's in Africa, I'd be like,
oh no.
African people are dirty.
Oh no. It's terrible.
The next place I wanted to see badly is the London Bridge.
Right now we're in London Bridge. For those who don't know, London Bridge is in East Central London.
Yeah.
So this is where the Queen used to live before. They moved to Buckingham Palace. Just to your left there, this is the city. That's where all the finance, all the business, all of those money transactions, that's where it takes place. Just behind you, right here, you have all the restaurants. So from Gaucho to all the top restaurants will be over here. This bridge here was actually built by the Roman. It's quite a top attraction. When people finish Westminster, they come straight here because it's the next big thing to see.
I mean, I used to see that the bridge opens up. Where does it open up?
Well, we're actually where it opens up, to be honest. I think we shouldn't be here that long. But
It
where
opens-
we are is where it opens up. We're right
Alright.
in the middle. So it opens up. I don't know if you can see if you turn your camera.
Yeah,
That ship
there's
there.
a big ship right there.
If there's anything like that, it opens up and then it will let them go.
Yeah.
So it only opens up when there's big ship coming through, which doesn't happen often. So most of the pictures you'll see is when it's open, but it's a very rare occasion. But yeah, where we are standing right now is the middle of the bridge, and that's where it opens when there's ship going through. But again, that's probably 2-3 times a year. If that.
Yeah. London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, my girl.
But the most interesting for me was to experience the Notting Hill Carnival, which is the largest street party in Europe, attracting around 2 million people each year.
So we decide to go and play the club tonight. With the Queen by my side and the spliff I light. The stress meal up inside now seems so light. Fresh cut, fresh shave, just bathe. And me babes, she a put on a dress and a makeup. Just to impress our best self and bless our dreams be manifesting, yeah.
This event happens on the 5th and 6th of the August Bank Holiday weekend in the streets of Notting Hill. It was a community activist who organized a street festival in 1966 that marked the beginning of Notting Hill Carnival as we know it today.
Much people from every single country in the Caribbean and around the world, right here at the Notting Hill Carnival in East London.
No, just how the thing is going. Rude boy rocking on the place. Girl, them a wind up them waist. Vibe them overflow.
The carnival is a celebration of the Caribbean culture and features a parade, dancing, singing, and procession led by members of the British Caribbean community.
Where you most find.
The next day, I traveled to the city of Newington to meet with Temi.
Hi, my name is Temi from the channel Temi Danso Art. I'm an artist and content creator based in the UK.
She moved to the UK when she was 8 years old, studied engineering, but now she is a content creator and a gym enthusiast.
Hi Stephen, welcome to my space.
I really do like your house.
Thank you.
It's a great space. Tell us.
Do you want a tour?
Yeah, give us a tour.
So this is the front door. This is my peace lily, my favorite plant. I've kept her alive for 2 years.
Yeah.
Very happy. But in here we have the downstairs toilet. So we have the kitchen area.
Yeah.
It's very small and quaint,
It
but it does the
is not
job.
small for a UK property, by the way.
True.
Yeah.
True. But it's big enough for me. Now moving on to the living area. Everything is decorated in my aesthetic. I've been here for nearly 3 years.
So in this neighborhood, like, what's the rent like here?
Oh, I don't know. I bought the house.
So she said she bought this. Okay.
Sorry, I
that's
don't know
nice.
what the rent
That's,
is.
that's nice. She doesn't know. She don't know what the rent is. Okay, that's understandable.
Because I used to rent in Coventry and in Leamington, and it
Yeah.
was like, I want to say 600, 700 for like one room and like a 2-bed,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So this is my bedroom. My office, where I spend most of my time. But yeah, but this is where I sit most of the time to do my editing.
This is where you spend. This room makes you the most money in the property, yeah?
This room is the money making room. Lovely.
So how often do you cook?
I cook every day.
Okay, every day.
Every single day.
Okay, because I guess it's gonna be cheaper, right?
Yes, definitely.
How much do you spend a month? Number?
Like a grocery bill.
Yeah.
£300 on groceries.
Okay, comparing it to like UK standard, would you say like that's expensive or pretty much what anybody?
I think
would
that's
spend?
average. But I spend a lot on like gym related things. So like protein related things
Yeah.
or like just, you know,
Okay.
which people, it's like, it's a nice to have, it's not a necessity.
Yeah. Where are you from?
Nigeria.
Okay, so why did you move to the UK?
It wasn't a choice. I was young and, and I followed my parents.
Okay,
Yeah.
at what age?
So I was 10, 11.
If you had not like relocated to the UK, do you feel you would get the level of success that you have right now?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. And the reason why I don't know that my art would have been fostered in the way that it has. And that's because in this country, you can explore different things. So because I was a science student, being an engineer, that was fine. And I could do my physics, my maths, my chemistry, but actually I could also do art. So art was always there and I got to foster it like all through. Where in Nigeria, from what I've heard, you have to pick one lane. And so I don't know if I would have had the same drive with my art because for me with art, like that's where all of like, that's the content that I do, that's where my passion lies. So like, I don't know if I would.
If you were going to move to any African country, I mean, which have you visited to that you like? You'd be like, okay, I live here.
So if I was to pick one, I'd probably say South Africa because I've got a friend who actually lives there now.
Yeah.
And she used to live in Dubai and now she lives in South Africa and she's like doing amazing things and she has a property there. So it seems like a good place to like,
Yeah.
I don't know, that isn't too different from the UK, I guess.
How much averagely can you make to live a decent life in the UK from us?
Like £2,000,
£2,000?
maybe, I don't know.
And how easy is it for someone to get a job that can make him or
Can
her
pay that.
£2,000?
I think maybe it depends on qualifications because when I was an engineer, like as an engineer, like this base salary or starting salary would be above that. So you would definitely be able to cover that. But
Yeah.
also it depends on your expenses because if you live somewhere that's more expensive, then
And
it
the
wouldn't stretch.
most expense is usually rent, right?
Yeah, the biggest one would be your living situation.
Yeah.
And then maybe transport for the people that have to
Commute.
travel. Yeah. And then food.
Food, yeah.
And then entertainment.
Comparing this to other part of the world, would you say the UK is affordable, expensive?
In the general, it's quite expensive. So I don't live in London, so I'm a little bit on the outskirts, but even still, like my bills add up to a lot.
Is it like the further you go away from London, the cheaper it is?
Yeah, the further up north as well. Like people in Manchester, they're living it up. Transportation is really good.
What are
The
the
train
options?
services, so the trains, most people would go by train.
Yeah.
The trains are fantastic. The only thing is the trains are very expensive and frequently not that reliable. Like they are quite reliable, but I think it depends where you're going to. So within London, the underground system is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
To go out on the outskirts, then you would have like every half an hour for a train or every hour for a train, where when the underground is like every minute or something.
Yeah.
So yeah.
How about
But it's-
buses? Do you use any of the public transportation?
In London, yes.
Okay, how about
No.
how about buses?
What about
Do
them?
you people have keke?
No.
You know, like why don't you have keke or bike or kada?
People have their personal motorcycles.
No, like in my country we
I know
have,
what you mean.
We have like tricycles.
Yeah.
Okay, you call it
Oh
keke
yeah, yeah.
napep.
Okay, yeah. The kekes, yeah.
Do you guys have that here?
No, we don't have that.
Do you have like Okada bikes?
We don't have Okada either.
Why? So you guys just got trains, buses.
Trains, buses, trams in
Trams
some
as well.
places, and fly.
She drove me around Newington, showing me popular places around, and we even stopped by a local Nigerian restaurant to buy some jollof. And later we headed to the gym, of course.
Hi there, my name is Pisi Timi. I'm a Nigerian currently living and working in London.
The next day, I went back to London to meet with Peace Etini. She's been a friend of mine for many years. She left Nigeria 3 years ago to live and work in England. She works in tech and also the conveyor of one of the biggest tech conferences in Africa, the Founders Connect. Let's hear about her reality living here in the UK.
Hi Stephen.
Hello.
Welcome to London.
Okay.
Hi.
Peace Itimi. Nice
Hi.
to have you on my channel. I was just speaking to Peace randomly one time and she was like, Steven, I did Jackpot. I remember that day. And that was like, what? How many years ago? 3 years,
years
ago.
ago.
3 years ago.
It's been a minute.
Tell us how you moved here.
I
to
moved
London.
with Global Talent Visa. So
Oh,
that's
you're
the-
talented, aren't
Yeah.
you?
So there are different types of Global Talent Visa. There's art and culture, there's technology, and there's academics. I moved with technology because I work in tech. And it was pretty easy. It was just for me to apply for an endorsement from Technician. I got the endorsement, luckily enough. Applied for visa. No, I didn't need to write IELTS. I didn't need to give them bank statements or any of that stuff. I just needed the endorsement and
Yeah.
TB test.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. It was really easy to move.
And I think this is a smart thing a lot of Western countries do. They do this to attract talent from,
Yeah.
countries.
Because now we're working for them and paying crazy taxes.
Yeah. So America has their own called EB1, O1B. I guess Australia will have same. Most
Yeah, I think
European-
even Canada has like
have-
a special one as well.
Yeah. It's a shame actually. These countries come, take their best talent and leave, and the government don't even do anything. Just imagine if you were in Nigeria making what you're making, contributing to paying tax and also empowering
Staying
people.
in traffic.
No, like all these things
But
get
I
better. but-
100% agree. Like people say that
Yeah.
there's a brain drain in Nigeria, and I think that's true because 80% of people that are in tech right now, they are either shuffling because they still want to build stuff in Nigeria or they relocated. I think in another year, I'll probably have maybe one friend in Lagos. All the best talents, they're going to find like greener pastures differently. So it's quite sad because you find a lot of companies who are not finding it hard to hire talents because they're looking for a remote job.
Do you feel you're gonna move back to Nigeria?
I don't know, let me get the passport first.
No, you've not thought about it. Like now you get a passport that allows you to travel the world.
I think
and you have
at first
citizenship.
when I moved, I wanted to move for, let me get access, let me get the second option, which is get a passport.
But now you've come, you've seen the system, you've seen how it works.
it's harder to then move back.
The number one reason why you moved, what we say it was having access, having option.
It was having option. And
Yeah.
It was driven by enters. I mean, that was like a very critical point. And I said, okay, cool. I might come back to Nigeria. That's fine. But if I am not bringing out 150k to buy a passport now, then I need to go somewhere else and get the access, so I can always have a second choice.
Yeah.
So I don't always need to. I need to get a visa here. Like I have somewhere that I can go and say I'm a British citizen at some point, right? And be like, that was really for that access. But the additional point was the exposure, because I was also thinking, yes, I can spend like 150k if I had it. I didn't even have it anyway to buy a passport, but I could also go live somewhere else and see what it does to my life and my mind by just having a different kind of exposure, and nobody can take that away from me. Just before I moved to London, I had a nice apartment, had a chef, had a cleaner, everything.
You're living a soft
I was
life.
living a soft life. I felt like, I've arrived, wake up in the morning, like, Madam Peace food is ready. It was nice. But here, bro, you have to do everything yourself. Pounds is expensive.
How much do you think is like sort of like an okay money someone can earn to live very comfortable here in the UK?
I don't know. I think at the bare minimum 20k. If you earn like 30k a year, okay, you're good. I don't need to earn 150k, 200k, $1 million a year. If I earn 50k, I'm comfortable.
And you still
I can
have
go to school.
You have access to basic
You
amenities.
have access to every basic amenity. I think the UK is still hard. I think you would hustle in the UK the way you hustle anywhere else. The way you hustle in Nigeria, The difference is you're hustling a system that is working. And if you do things right, you would very likely get an opportunity. I've had friends who, they got a job, maybe something happened, they got fired. You know, sometimes maybe the manager has been racist, because that still happens, just tiny microaggression. They had to spend like another 3 months before they got a job. There's some people who maybe lost their job, couldn't get another one, had to move back to Nigeria for a bit. There's some people that have just been gliding all through for the last 4 years that they've been here as well. And some people who may be coming through school and they can't get like a sponsored visa after doing postgraduate, they have to go back, or they have to do another school again, 2 years, like 2 master's degree, 3 master's degree. Some people end up doing like if you sugarcoat it and say everybody should move and it's going to be like all roses, I think that would be a lie. But also what you're bringing into the system. Because if you have no experience and no skill in Africa, you're not going to come here and miraculously now get a 6-figure job. Yeah. But if you had some skill and some experience, then it becomes a bit easier. But I know people who are earning 6 figures a year who are doing like more than 5k a month. I know people who are doing £8,000, who are doing 30k a year, who are doing 24k a year. I know someone who's like doing 200k a year. So I haven't quite lived anywhere else except London, but I know that London is expensive.
But then if you're looking for like opportunities, because I feel the reason why someone would want to move to the UK, they are in search of opportunities. So if you're in search of opportunities, you want to go live in Manchester?
I think it's unlike Nigeria, for instance, where we're from, where if you're looking for opportunities, literally the only place you can really find that type is Abuja, Lagos. That's it, right? But I think in the UK, there are companies anywhere. There are companies in Brighton, there are companies in Birmingham, there are companies in Manchester. There are big companies. My friend Joyce is working for a really big company in Birmingham. They have like over 25,000 people. Wow. So there are companies in different places. The earning power is different. What they'll pay people who are in Birmingham or Manchester is different when it's a London company paying in London. But people still get the opportunity there.
So you're saying the opportunity is spread
I think
out.
the opportunity is spread out. It's spread out, but a certain kind of earning power would only happen in London. Yeah, if you're looking for the really big box and you're willing to spend a lot of money as well in rent, London is that place. But if you're looking for, I want to live a good life, I want to raise a family, I want to be able to save £500, £1,000. I don't want to be able to pay 2k for rent. I want to pay 700. You can go to Pittsburgh, you can go to Leeds and still have a good life. And still come to London in 1 hour train, right? There are people who are living in Brighton, they will just do like 1 hour train. They're here already, they go back home. I think the only main culture shock is that the system works.
Yeah,
right.
I realized it for myself.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest thing. Every other thing is when you actually live in the system, you realize that it's normal. Going to the train station and knowing that if I leave my house by this time, I know that in 50 minutes I'll be where I'm supposed to be exactly. Except something happens and maybe somebody jumps on the train or like, and that doesn't happen.
Or there's a carnival.
Or there's a carnival.
Because now there's a particular line that is saying
that's cancelled.
Yeah.
But most of the time, like 90% of the time, you can guarantee where you're going to and what time you will be there. Like really,
I wonder what infrastructure they use for that thing.
Whatever it is, I'm glad.
Yeah.
I feel a lot freer in the UK than I did in Nigeria. Like I'm safer.
When you're especially in central London, don't be pressing your phone like that on the road.
Bro, there was one day I was coming back from the office and typically I take walks. So there's the next station from me is 20 minutes. There's one that's 2 minutes away, but the other one is 20 minutes. So when I want to take a walk, instead of me taking my own station here, I will walk there. Yeah. So I stopped there and I was like, oh, I'll take the 20 minutes walk and I'll get my steps in. Yeah. And I was pressing my phone. There was this guy on a bicycle who literally tried to take my phone off me. I was just really lucky and he just kept driving. I was like, they actually steal people's phone in London. I was like, what? I called my friend. I said, I was just about to not have a phone because I was headphones on everything and the guy just kept going. And I realized that if he had taken it, there's no how I would have pursued him. I would have just been like, I think that there are definitely places in London, in the UK, that's not safe. Like, I don't know. You can't pay me enough to live in South London.
Yeah, right?
I think you need to be clear about why you want to move. Yeah. And know sort of like what you're looking for. If you don't have like a really good understanding of this is why I'm moving, it's what I want to partition my life around or what I want to build for myself, then it's easy to overly compare. It's easy to be like, oh, this is not working for me. Some people say they are lonely. Okay, yes, but is that what you're there for? Right? So I think that's the very first thing, right? Don't just move because everybody's moving. Like, don't move because everybody has jackpot. I'm the only one in Lagos. Yeah. And you're like, no, like move when it's the right time for you to move. Yeah. Because if you just jump on the train, you can get here, you get stuck. and then you have like a temporary visa, and you start running head-to-head to get like a permanent resident or something that sponsors you here. So I would say like understand why you really want to move, but then make a plan. The biggest joy that I have in moving to the UK was the visa that I had. Like I can do whatever I want to do, and that comes with a lot of freedom. Like I can quit a job tomorrow because of a toxic boss, but know that I can still stay here. But there are people who don't have that same level of access, right?
Yeah.
So find a way to get yourself the best option. It's not just about, a lot of people find the option to move based on what is easiest. But what is easiest to enter is not the easiest to stay. And that's really the big picture. But I've seen a lot of people who like forget that big picture. So that's really my biggest advice. Like, know where you want to come, have a plan, but just don't find the easiest way to enter.
The next day, I traveled to the city of Leeds to meet with Joseph. He's a Nigerian British who has been living and working in the UK for more than 7 years. He works in the medical field as a radiologist, but has a logistic company he operates on the side.
Hi Steven, welcome to my house.
All right, show us around.
Come in.
Wow, this is actually a bigger space than I saw in most London properties.
Yeah, it's just the typical space in Dewsbury,
Yeah.
outside London.
Are you friends with your neighbors? Do you talk to your neighbors at all?
No, yeah, people just tend to just keep to themselves.
Yeah.
Or it's just the life in the UK.
Do you feel bored and lonely sometimes?
Yes, I do feel bored and lonely a lot. A lot.
So why don't you move to Africa then? You rather be bored and lonely than move to
Yes.
Africa. Do you own the house?
No, I rent the house.
What's the rent here?
$8.50 per month.
If this were to be in London, how much do you think?
It definitely is going to be like up to maybe
5,000.
Yeah, 4 or 5 grand. Yeah, and above. But that's the benefit. That's the benefits of living outside London.
Yeah. What's the biggest move that you've ever done? Like, how much did you get from it?
Sometime in January, I did a 4-bedroom house move somewhere about 2,300.
How hectic was it? Like, did it require people? Or?
Yeah, there's like about 5 people required.
Wow. Yeah, I'm just watching him do his business. For a job like this, how much does it cost?
Say £100.
£100 to do this?
Yeah.
Okay. And so and how many of these kind of trips can you do a day?
Well, I mean, on a busy Saturday, you could take, well, like yesterday I had quite a few jobs.
Yeah.
I think about 6 trips.
Kenny, now you have 2 jobs.
Yeah.
This is the second job, right?
Yep.
Is it fun for you?
It's fun, it's nice. I get to travel the whole UK.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's fun.
Well, why did you choose the UK as a place you wanted to move to? Not Canada, not America, not Australia, not New Zealand. Why the UK?
I was looking like 10 years down the line, and I discovered that if I'm in Nigeria, I won't meet up to the international standards that's expected of a radiographer in terms of the pay, in terms of the kind of equipment they use. The pay in Nigeria is too poor.
So as of when you were in Nigeria, like how much were people, high-ranking radiographers paid at that then?
Yeah, the top guys were paid at most 500k.
500,000. How much is that in pounds now? That's like what?
It's £250.
250
at the
pounds.
moment.
And how much are
Yeah.
radiographers here paid?
The starting for radiographers about £2,000 here.
2,000. That's starting. Like you have to be at the lowest level
Yeah.
to start, and it
Yeah.
can go up to how much?
Yeah, you can
10K?
go up to like 3k to 4,500 pounds.
Yeah.
At the moment now, I work as a part-time radiographer. I do CT scans. I travel all around the UK, doing locum shifts. I also work part-time in Leeds Teaching Hospital as well. I also own a business. I do part-time.
Yeah.
The business pulls a lot of money.
A lot of people see the UK and think it's just it's a place that you can come in and quickly generate wealth, or you can quickly get a better life outside of what most African people there have back home. Would you say that's a correct narrative, or it's not absolutely?
Pretty much like other Western countries, the way it works is that
Yeah.
there are pretty much there's jobs for people. There's opportunities you can venture into. You can easily get a job working as a support worker,
Yeah.
or like a care assistant. So there's so many opportunities. You can just quickly, when you come, you get that job and start working. So yeah, I'd say that has a bit of truth to that. But the other issue is it's possible that you could come here to this country, stay at a certain level for a long period of time, and you just sort of stay at that level without advancing yourself. You need to put in a little bit more
effort than the locals.
Yeah, than locals. Because I mean, a lot of us, we have responsibilities back home, we have things to do. So yeah, you need to put a little bit more effort as opposed to like the local guys here. You know, just to meet up to certain standard some guys back home have set for us.
Yeah.
Like, you know, sorting your parents, like building a house, or like doing some other things. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the benefits of being here. You don't have to be rich to afford to buy a house.
Yeah.
But in Nigeria, I know you have to, you know, bring out so much money, 100, 200 million.
This is not just about house, also automobile as well.
Yeah. Your
Like
price it cuts
everything.
across.
Yeah.
Across all the sectors, like the car finance. If you want to go for holiday, if your budget is like $2,000 or £1,000, you could use a certain amount from the credit card and then pay over time.
So do you think you're ever going to go back to Africa at some point?
Well,
You'll be like, you know
yeah,
what, I'm done with
to-
the UK.
I say to visit, yes, maybe spend a long time visiting there, staying with family, staying with my parents.
Yeah.
Yes. But to live there, no.
What was like the cultural shock for you? Like things that you came here and you experienced that doesn't or is different from where you're from, Nigeria?
You know, in Nigeria, you can have like banter, you can crack jokes with people, you can like share your, like you say, you want to say, okay, you went to church on Sunday. This sort of conversation it's not here. You don't get that here. At work, you just, when you go into work, you just focus on your work. I think that's one bit of it. And then, you know, there's the other bits in terms of relationship with, you know, your work colleagues.
Yeah.
You tend to be very official with them.
People don't make friends here.
You could make friends, but you can't really call them your friends. The work culture in the UK is more of like an official work setting. In Nigeria, when I used to work like 7 years ago, when we go to work, we like crack jokes. In the UK, the work culture is more very official.
Looking at my window every time I wake up in the morning, I'm always seeing traffic and people just trying to find parking. And even when I go out with my friends that drive, every time they're like finding a place to park. Probably you're going somewhere here, they have to go park far away and then we're going to walk backwards. So do you enjoy driving here in London?
Driving in London?
Yeah.
I don't enjoy it, but I like it. The reason why you can't, almost everywhere is 20 miles per hour, so you can't really drive.
Yeah.
But the worst part is the amount of things you need to pay.
What are the fees like that you need to pay to drive a car here in London?
Well, first you pay road tax.
What is the road tax? What is it?
Road tax is simply to means that you're allowed to drive on the road. So every year, depending on the brand of your car and what year, whether it's petrol or diesel, you have a fixed amount that you need to pay. You can pay that one time, so a yearly, or you can pay it per month.
Right.
So that'll be a road tax. Then you have insurance
On the car.
on the car. And our insurance, if you're lucky, it'll be under 1,000. Then you're gonna go into parking.
That's what the problem is.
Now, I'm sure everybody in London or in the UK will tell you, parking is impossible. It doesn't matter where you go, at what time you go, you can't park. And if you are luckily able to find a parking spot, you pay about £2.50 for an hour.
£2.50.
£2.50 for an hour. Most places is like £4, but
What's the benefit of like having a car here if with all these taxes, all of these things? Like why?
I think it's more to do with lifestyle, you know. People just want to say I own a car. Because in terms of it being effective,
Yeah, it's not.
there's not much benefit. It costs more, you get way more ticket, and you can't drive anywhere because you're always in traffic. Especially if you're in London, I mean, the transport system is amazing.
Yeah.
And it runs 24/7. So I think it's more to do with status. People just want to say,
I own a car.
I own a car. I think from October, most people don't know, but they're going to do now, they're going to change the road tax into something where you pay per every mile that you drive. Now this is something that the new Labour government, now for those who don't know Labour, do your research, right? The Labour government started off well, but now we don't really know which direction they're going. Everyone's being taxed. Everything you want, you gotta pay tax on. To breathe, tax. To even exist, I just had breakfast, £16. I had one egg. That egg looked like a 50p coin, but what can we do?
Yeah.
I got taxed on that too.
You pay tax for the food?
Of course, VAT. If a company makes over 70,000 a year or 75,000 a year, they need to add VAT on everything, which is 20% they add. I told someone in Ivory Coast, West Africa, that I'm willing to sponsor you. In other words, I'll give you money. You start a business, because that business would make you millions and billions of pounds.
Yeah.
It's already guaranteed. He looked at me and he said, why do I hate him? I said, why would you say that? He said, because I'm in London, I don't want him to come to London, or I don't want him to come to UK. That's when I understood that there's a problem.
Yeah.
Most people are dying to come to the UK because they feel everything here is rosy.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them. I blame the Africans that were either born in the UK or the Africans that came to the UK, because they're presenting this lavish lifestyle.
Yeah.
They don't show them that they're working 2 jobs. They don't show that. They don't show them that they maybe get 6, if lucky, 7 hours of sleep. None of that is being shown.
Yeah.
They take pictures of the nice things here in London. Then if their employer feels lucky and say, you know what, we'll give you 2 weeks off, which they can't even negotiate, they will then go back home. They'll live their best life, champagne, party. So then their relatives and their friends will think, wow, he's living the best life in London.
Now I want to go
He's
there.
living the best life in France.
Yeah.
He's living the best life in Germany. And now when it comes to Nigeria or Ghana or Kenya or South Africa, he's also the man. So automatically they said, no, I have to go to the UK.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's time Africans who are doing well here in the UK or here in Europe generally start to actually say the truth.
Tell the story.
Which is, it took me 7 years. And the first 3-4 years, I needed to work 2 jobs. In London, I rent. I don't own my property. In London, my car is leased. I don't own the car.
Yeah.
In London, my phone, I'm paying monthly. I don't own the phone. So I realized when I went to Africa, the least privilege owns a house.
Yeah.
Which his dad built and has given it to him. Everything he has, he owns.
Yeah.
And I realized, actually, wait, this is my opinion.
Yeah.
It's better to be an owner than to be a renter.
Yeah.
So that's when I understood, actually, if you're able to do well in Africa, that's when you have really made it. You can always come here and rent.
The next day, I traveled to the city of Nottingham to meet with this beautiful couple.
My name is Chukuma.
My name is Sylvia.
We are Nigerian British, currently working in the UK.
They've been living here in Britain for more than 20 years, married with 3 beautiful children.
Oh, it's a nice car. Hello.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, how's it going?
man?
Nice
Good,
to
good,
see you.
good, good,
Nice
good.
to see you.
How was your trip?
Yeah, it was
Just lovely.
Welcome.
How long have you guys been here in the UK?
We're going to the 7th year now.
7th year.
Yeah.
Wow. You moved here, you're both doing well with your career and everything. So I feel there are quite a number of things that you can tell to my viewers about what life really is like here in the UK, the reality, what people should know before coming here, setting up a business or working for a company or improving the quality of your life, right? Yeah. So can we sit down right here?
Yeah. Feel free to sit down.
Tell me why you decided to leave Nigeria and move here to the UK.
Leaving Nigeria, it was because of the economic situation of Nigeria. I'll say mainly is because of the health situation in Nigeria, the healthcare system in Nigeria.
It's not structured.
When it comes to healthcare, because I'm a healthcare professional, I wasn't comfortable with the situation, and we having a child that was quite little, and he had a few health challenges then, but we're not getting anything out of the healthcare system.
Yeah.
Not something serious though, but it was just a very minor thing, but it wasn't just making any sense what they were doing. So we had the opportunity to leave, and then we just had to leave.
Your priority is health and you're choosing the UK. So are you saying UK has one of the best health system in the world?
Exactly. UK actually have one of the best systems
What makes
and
it
the
the best?
structure. Well, if you look at the history of the NHS in the UK, you can see the positive impact and all that. And when we were living in Nigeria, we considered a few countries, America, Canada. But in America, we made some investigation and find out that you need to work too hard to keep a certain level of healthcare, assistance and all that. So Canada is almost the same thing, but in UK, it's practically free for children.
We heard something about the NHS slogan that says from cradle to death. Cradle to death means from when you're born till when you die, they look after you.
And you don't pay anything for it?
You don't pay anything?
That's to show you how good the system is, how good the government is, and how they take priority for human life.
What do you do?
I'm a radiographer, but I'm a sonographer, and I also do chest reporting.
That sounds very complex.
Well, is it complex? It's complex because being a sonographer, we have a lot of sonographers. Then the chest reporting is something that came up, and when my trust advertised, I applied, and we're just two in the UK that do chest reporting and sonography.
All right, so she should be making some money.
That's what you think?
Because if there are only two of you.
Yeah, we're two of us. There's a lady in Hull City.
Yeah.
She's a sonographer and a chest reporting radiographer, and I'm the second person doing it. I'm not trying to condemn the Nigerian system, but you're not given an opportunity to bring out your best. But I would say the NHS has given me an opportunity to be the best version of myself. Because in Nigeria, first they would say, oh, you're a radiographer can't do this, can't do that. But that's not true. Here, it's about the quality. Who can do it? Are you able to do it? Like, if I go back to Nigeria now, I can't function. I wouldn't say I know it better than them, but they won't let you do it because of bias. But here, I was trained by consultants. They were so happy, opened their arms to train me and make sure. And right now, I'm doing it for them.
You're never going to go back to Nigeria? And
Nigeria didn't give me what I have. I'm sorry to say that they did not. The quality of what I have is the UK system that gave it to me. People may blast me for it, but that's the truth. If I was in Nigeria, I won't have the skills I have right now. Yeah. But the UK economy, the UK government has given it to me. But if Nigeria is better, we can still give back because it's still our motherland any day, anytime.
Yeah.
When I came to the UK, I was doing quite some odd jobs, to put food on the table when I ran out of Naira, because I was spending from Naira. So I wasn't doing it because I want to do it, but I was doing it at the same time, looking after my children, building up my career as well. I did night shift for 5 years.
Did you say night?
Permanent night shift for 5 years. It's not because I'm getting paid more or any other thing. It's because my wives have a permanent day shift job, and that's the basic thing. That's how it works in the UK. If you don't want to do it, don't think of coming to the UK. Cut your coat according to your material. It's quite expensive if you mismanage yourself. I've seen one video, one lady was saying something like, UK is not expensive. Yes, UK is not expensive. It's expensive for you because you left Aldi to go and shop in M&S. If you have a good job, you earn a good money. But earning good money means paying good tax. I work in Amazon as a transport specialist. Whatever my wage is, the government takes 40% of it.
What?
Yeah.
40%?
Yeah.
Every month?
Every month. Not only that, you still pay some other taxes, like you pay the council tax. My council tax is around 250 something pound a month. You pay road tax if you're using a diesel or fuel car. I have a diesel car. I pay road tax. I have an electric car. I don't pay road tax on that. You pay multiple of taxes. You have a business. You pay insurance for the business. You pay property insurance. So there's a lot to pay, but the good thing is those things are working for you. That's the basic thing.
First time we moved to the UK, in 1 year, that was when we bought our first house.
One year? That
1
was
year.
really quick.
Yes,
you guys are making a lot of money then.
Everything is not about money. It's about planning. Also cutting your coat according to your material. So for me, that's just being content with yourself.
Yeah.
And take life in stages. The quality of life is what I love. I put into the system and I get back something really good. You pay your taxes and it's working for you.
And you can see the money being put to
Yeah.
use. Have you dealt with any racism here in the UK at some point?
Well, I don't think I want to talk about that.
Oh, okay.
No.
Which means she has.
Interestingly, their kids currently run a business, and I was impressed with how they're able to do this at a very young age.
I was just using my laptop and I was seeing children who were doing a business. I wanted to be one of those children who have a business because I found out that kids can have businesses. So I came to my mum's room and then that's when I told her about what my ideas were.
I think, to be honest, it's one of our greatest achievements, setting these children up at this age and making them to become independent very early, because at the age of 12, Francis is still 10. At the age of 12, Francis will become an employer of labor. For us, we submitted CVs. These kids will never submit any CV to anybody.
Yeah.
They will access people's CVs.
It's quite interesting to see these young kids. When I was probably their age, the only thing I was thinking about is when it's fall, let me go and play football.
Maybe it has to do with the environment they grew up in. They built their website, they designed their logos, and they run the business with the help of their parents.
Claire does most of the computer work too. When it comes to fulfillment, Francis and Emmanuel helps her to gather the products, and then they package it and then we ship it out for them.
So this is our office. Yeah. So this is where we like to do all the eco-kids.
We have our
work.
planning there, things we need to know, like a professional business person or a wannabe. These boxes are where we keep our socks, and then we label them size by size.
Oh, you guys are entrepreneurs. All right, give me some knuckles, guys. 1, 2. Give me yours. If you're in the UK, I'm going to put the link. You got a website, yeah? Yeah. I'm going to put the link in the description. So if you want to purchase their products, how many days do you ship around the world or just the UK? Or
around the world.
If somebody buy your product in Australia, you're going to ship to them?
Yeah.
I hope this video was able to show you some reality about living in this part of the world. I would say to you, if you feel where you are, your country is not giving you the opportunity you need, it's not giving you the quality of life that you desire or you want, please do move to somewhere else that you feel you're going to get those opportunities. Before you do, please do make sure you speak to people that have been there for a long time that would actually tell you the reality about things in that country, right? And you do your own research as well and make sure this particular country that you're thinking about would give you all the things you desire to have a better quality of life, to raise your kids, and to enjoy your time on earth. And of course, subscribe to a channel like this because we're going to try to go to all of these places and sharing stories like this. But from a personal point of view, I don't think I can live in the United Kingdom. I feel like things are a little bit more strict. They're very strict with finance and they are very big on taxing people, right? So in the UK, the more money you make, the more tax that you're going to pay, and it's actually judged by percentage. So I don't feel the system is meant to make somebody filthy rich. I mean, it's a working society, so you're just going to go there, work for the system, and you're just going to live life. You're going to live life. You're not going to amass wealth for yourself, right? So I wouldn't say I have a country that I would want to relocate to. I feel like I'm still traveling, I'm still exploring, and of course, I'm always going to be here to share this feedback with you guys. If I feel the country actually ticks all the boxes for me, maybe. If you live in the UK, you can go to the description and share your own perspective of life here, so people that want to move here can also read and learn from you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please do subscribe to the channel, and I'm going to see you in my other episodes.